So you eat healthily and exercise regularly, but you're always tired and maybe a little bit grumpy. Your periods have been irregular or maybe even non-existent. You may have the Female Athlete Triad. Stay tuned and I'll explain what it is and what you can do to boost your fertility with this condition. Hello, if this is our first time connecting, welcome. My name is Melanie McGrice and I'm a fertility and prenatal dietitian. I help couples boost their fertility and give their babies the best start possible with the power of good food. Make sure that you connect with me on my socials. You'll find the details in the description box below. Now, the Female Athlete Triad, otherwise known as the Triad, describes the relationship between menstrual function, low energy availability and decreased bone mineral density. The triad is most commonly seen in young women involved in sports. Now, although it's called a triad, meaning three, some women may just experience one or two of the symptoms, for example, only the menstrual dysfunction part. In fact, research has found that up to 69% of women meet the criteria for one or two components of the triad, particularly in sports where leanness is commonly encouraged, such as gymnastics or ballet. However, the triad isn't always seen in professional athletes. It's also common in women who are recreationally active. So what exactly does low energy availability mean? Well, essentially, it means that your body isn't getting adequate calories for the amount of physical activity that you're doing. Now, this may be because you're stressed or too busy to eat properly, because you've got some disordered eating, or because you're trying to lose weight. And for some women, they're not even trying to lose weight, but just maintain their current weight, but they're just not getting adequate calories for the amount that they're burning. Now, the problem is that when your body receives less energy than it needs over a prolonged period, this may result in reduced production of the hormones from your pituitary gland, including the follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, and/or reduced production of estrogen and progesterone from the uterus. Now, the result of this is menstrual dysfunction, and it might mean either irregular periods or it ceasing altogether, and decreased bone turnover and density, which can result in an increased risk of bone injuries and osteoporosis down the track. So what do you do if you think that you might have the Female Athlete Triad? Well, the first step is to see a healthcare professional for an accurate diagnosis. A dietitian is often the best person to diagnose this condition, but you could also speak to your doctor or a fertility specialist. It can also be helpful to get your bone mineral density tested, and you probably need a blood test to see what your nutrition levels are like. Now, treating the Female Athlete Triad depends upon your symptoms and how severe it is. You'll usually need to decrease the volume and intensity of physical activity that you undertake for a while, and you may require some medications to assist with your hormones and/or your bone mineral density. Additionally, some women benefit from counselling. However, the most important change is dietary modification. Now, we need to make sure that you're getting adequate calories to meet your nutritional needs. It's also essential to review your dietary intake to ensure that you're meeting micronutrient requirements such as calcium, vitamin D, iron and zinc. Now, with nutrition therapy, recovery is usually around a couple of days for your low energy availability, but it can take a couple of months to improve your menstrual cycles, and it can take years to recover your bone mineral density. Now, one of the first steps I'd recommend is downloading my free fertility meal plan to help get you started. Just go to www.melaniemcgrice.com/fertility. And of course, feel free to post any questions that you might have in the comments box below. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Achoo! Only joking. Oops. Hello.